What's up, guys? Back again with another video. So let's get into the facts about factoring, right? For those who don't know what factoring is, right? When you start a trucking business, right, you need capital as soon as possible. So these brokers can take 30, 60, 90 days to pay, right? Because I know a lot of people been talking about leaving comments saying that I'm telling you guys to factor and stuff like that. I'm not telling you guys to do anything, right? I'm just telling you what I do. And one thing too, one important thing is that I'm never telling you guys to do anything I haven't done myself. I'm not sending you guys information for services that I use for my trucking businesses that I don't use myself personally. That's first and foremost. So you guys know, you can attest to this. When you guys send me an email, which is going to be in the description below, right? It's the very first thing in the description. It's my email address. When you email me, I respond to almost everybody who send me a message asking for insurance. So if you need insurance, factoring, fuels, cars, all the services that I use, even my ELD, who I use, which is Keep Trucking, all these services that I use for my trucking authority, I email it all to you guys so you can have it. And those are the services that I use myself personally. I don't send anything that I don't use myself. So, you know, you can choose whether you want to factor or not. But when you start in a brand new trucking authority, you need capital very fast, right? You need to make money. When you run a load, you need to make money and you want to get paid as soon as possible. So that's what factoring is, a service that allows you to do. Now, there's plenty of services out there. There's plenty of factoring companies out there. You can use whichever one you want, but the one that I use, I let you know which one that I use. You can check them out and see if they work for your business for yourself. Now, the one that I use, if it don't work for you, then that's understandable. You can go with any factoring company that you want. Now, the facts about the factoring company that I use: number one, you don't have to factor every single load with them. They're only there if you need them to. So if you want to run an Uber freight load and get paid directly by Uber, run a Landstar load, get paid directly by Landstar, run a CH Robinson load, get paid directly by CH Robinson, and then let's say you decide to run with a broker off of the load board that you're not really set up with, or they don't have quick pay, and you're going to factor that load, you can do that. You don't have to factor every single load with RTS. That's the first thing. The second thing is they only charge a rate, and they deduct that and they send you the rest. So whatever rate that you get with them, which is lower, by the way, if you have multiple trucks, they only deduct that small fee, which is a tax write-off, by the way. Now, that's number two. And number three is that's the only fee they charge. They only charge their rate. They don't have a processing fee, an ACH fee. They don't have any of these hidden fees that all these companies have. Now, keep in mind, it is a financial obligation. So a lot of these factoring companies try to tie you into a contract. That's why I suggest getting with one that you know is going to do the right thing. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look at why some people are saying that, you know, factor companies are bad and stuff like that. As a business owner, you have to take some accountability. That's why a lot of people that talk about factoring companies and stuff like that, you shouldn't have a business because of your mentality alone. If you think that you're going to get paid by somebody and they're just going to eat your mistakes, you got another thing coming. No one is going to do that. So when you go to RTS, let's go to RTS real quick, right? I'm going to pull up RTS. Now, as you can see, RTS specializes in trucking. They specialize in trucking because they have a load board for you here. They have a free load board for you to use. Now, of course, you know, I've been dealing with RTS. I've been working with them almost 3 years at this point, and I had an awesome experience with them. I had nothing but an awesome experience with them. So they have a free load board for you to use, but we're not going to get into the load board. But right here, if you click more, see this credit, click on credit, type in the company name, MC number, or DOT number, and you can credit check them. RTS tells you if they're not an A, B, or C rated company, you do not want to factor that load with them because they're not going to pay for it. Now, you can choose to still run that load because I get it. Some of you are going to say, oh, this load was paying $3,000 going 200 miles, so I took that load. And when that turns out to be a shitty broker that don't want to pay or find any excuse not to pay you for that load or pay you half of it or whatever they like to do, that's on you. That has nothing to do with RTS or any factoring company, right? So let's take a look at one real quick. So we're going to open up the load board here and we're going to pick one. We're going to pick one. Let's see, American Freight Lines, right? Orangeburg, South Carolina, going to East Point, Georgia, right? So let's click on this one. If you scroll up, this is the DAT load board, by the way. If you scroll up, you see that MC number 122-6192. 6192. Search. All right. So as you can see, this American lines come up, they have an N, right? So this is because, look, it says they're brand new pretty much, right? They have a brand new authority, 5/26/21. RTS probably is not going to factor that load. So if you decide to run this load and you don't get paid, RTS will still factor it for you. But guess what? They're not going to pay you until they get their money from these people. So if it takes them 60 days, 90 days, that's when you're going to get your money. You're going to get your money whenever this company decides to pay, because they are not A, B, or C. So you're not going to get paid. So you can't sit here and try to blame any factoring company that don't want to pay for these type of loads, because they're not wanting to take the risk. And you shouldn't either. I don't run with companies that are less than A, B, or C, right? I just don't do it. So let's take another one. Let's take a look at XPO. XPO MC number is 175-953. So we're going to check them. All right. So XPO, as you can see, they got multiple locations, right? That don't really matter. You can just check any of them. They all A, B, or C, as you can see. Now on average, look, their average last credit change was in July. Their average day to pay is 37 days. Now this is the type of stuff that you have to take a look at when you're on the load board looking at these different companies. If you decide not to credit check these companies and you decide to run that load, that's going to be on you. That's going to be on you. And if you don't get paid from them, that's on you. You can't blame any factoring company for that. Now, if you guys want, I have a direct contact with RTS if you're needing fuel cards, if you're needing factoring services and stuff like that. And one other thing, the reason why I factor every single load is because, like I said, you don't have to. If you run with Uber Freight, if you run with C.H. Robinson, TQL, or any of those guys, they pretty much have quick pay. You can decide to get paid directly from them. It doesn't matter. It's totally up to you. But I factor every single load for the simple fact that I don't want to have to go to Uber Freight, C.H. Robinson, and track down every single broker that I ran a load with. If I factor all my loads through RTS, all I have to do is go to RTS and say, hey, let me get my year-end report, and it has every single load on there that I ran for the entire year. So when I do my taxes, I have one document that I need that shows every single load that I ran for the whole year. Now, that's how I do it. It's totally up to you. If you say all these people got zero fees or zero rate, you don't have to pay no rate, they give you free quick pay or whatever, that's totally up to you. But I do know, being brand new, someone telling you not to factor your loads, if you can afford not to get paid for 30, 60, or 90 days, then by all means, do what's best for your business. But I did want to come out here and point that out, because people are putting out a lot of bad information when it comes to factoring and loads and who you should factor in and stuff like that. Just do your research, do what's best for your business, and you will be okay. Now, if you want to kind of like use the services that I've been using for the past 3 years, shoot me an email. It's down in the description below, and I'll give you guys, of course, shoot you guys an email with every single service that I use, whether it's factoring, fuel cards, ELD that I use, drug and alcohol consortium that I use, the insurance company that I use, every single service that I use for my trucking authority business, I will send it over to you. And you don't have to use those, but you can definitely call them, check them out for yourself, see if they're a good fit for your business, and you can go from there. So that's all I have for you guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Until next time, see you in the next video.